Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to Anime King 3. And today I'm going to be giving you part 4 of What If Naruto Was a Genius? Experimenter. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the final episode. Yes guys, the final episode of What If Naruto Returned Different with a Yin Yang bloodline, and enjoy that guys. And over in Anime King, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto absorb all life form from the earth, and enjoy that guys. And remember, for anyone this is the first time hearing my voice, yes, I indeed have 3 channels as you overheard a moment ago. 3 channels that I post what fun every single day. Yes, it might sound crazy, but it is real. Every single day for you guys to enjoy, so go ahead, click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. And yeah, without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this new episode start? The intro. So the last spot we left off. A few months has passed since the Wave mission. Thus far, Team 7 went on several other missions. One of them where Naruto had made sure the situations were perfect for Sasuke to awaken his Sharingan, and he did awaken them. We then found Naruto at his lab as he was currently playing with one of his new little dogs. This one though had a form of blue fire. It was able to completely overtake the others with their normal flames. As Naruto patted on the head, proud of it, he looked towards the others as he simply injected them with his claws, and they reawakened like they were unkillable. As Naruto made his way back to his lab, he made his way towards the other room, and inside there was a tube. Inside said tube was Haku. He had a strange arm, as Naruto had removed his other arm. But when he reawakened, that will no longer be Haku anymore. Making his way, Naruto was going to leave, but he got caught. Situations were not set up well for him, as Uncle was the one that found him. But Naruto was a master of deception and craft. As he knew a lot about her, so he decided to play that, but he decided to make it sure that she didn't know exactly what he knew. It didn't take him too long to ask her for help regarding his ninja studies, as she looked like an awesome kunoichi. As she didn't get that much acknowledgement since Orochimaru did what he did to her. So to get that acknowledgement from him, it was quite good, despite him just being a brat. As she decided to, well, agree. So they met up next day as she teach him all that she could. Well, not all that she could, but Naruto used that time to get closer to her, to become friends. Some more time went by. As Naruto found himself in a sticky situation, Orochimaru returned to Konoha for June exams, to go to one of his old labs that Irizu never found. But to his surprise, it was something wrong. When he entered said lab, it was hard to get in as he almost died. Well, he would have died, but he was able to shed his skin. And even after passing the second one, he would have been burst to pieces by the seals on the ground. Orochimaru was surprised, as this person had set up precautions on precautions. He was dead if he made a single move. As Naruto stood there, both of them got into talking as Orochimaru was rather intrigued. His work was what allowed the Uzumaki child to, well, understand the joy of cutting someone open to experiment on someone. Orochimaru did not trust him yet, as Naruto could see that plainly, as Naruto did not trust him, or would he ever trust Orochimaru. He didn't want to work for anyone, he wanted to be his own man. But for now he played the part of someone that was obsessed, acting like Orochimaru was a god amongst men to him. As the snake Sannin seemed to feed off that admiration, usually having loyal followers that would do what he said at any time to even end themselves for him. So Naruto decided to play that role rather well, as the both of them got into talking. Some time passed after that as they made a deal, as Orochimaru would be showing up in the Forest of Death. as Naruto made his way as he was gonna go to Kakashi for the forms, when Sakura found him as they heard a scream. Making their way to the corner, they saw none other than the Sand Team. Upon arriving towards them, Naruto sensed Gaara watching him, but he played the ignorant one, as he did not look up. Gaara on the other hand found something intriguing about Naruto when he jumped down, as he looked into Naruto's eyes. Naruto's eyes intrigued him, as he hoped to see him at the exams. With that, he walked off. Some more time passed after that as Naruto returned back to his lab. He continued his work until the time finally came for June exams to come around. When they made their way there, they were easily able to get past the first part. Well, Sasuke had to break it and announce to everyone that it was an illusion. His arrogance knew no bounds. So with that, they continue on to the second part, which being the first test exactly, but the second part was the real first test. As Naruto stood over to the side, that is when Kabuto came in. Naruto knew that Orochimaru had someone within Konoha from all the information he had. And this guy, Naruto didn't know what it was. His instincts were telling him. And his instincts were never wrong. And the way the guy looked at him, as he made his way towards his teammates, as Naruto remained calm, Orochimaru was wondering if he could trust him or not, so he would send someone to spy on him. For now, Naruto would play the part of being the calm person that would follow his lead at any question asked. So yeah guys, that's basically that's where we left off. You guys can switch across the blade check of yourself, and also guys, remember to go ahead and check out the other two series. What if Naruto had a yin yang bloodline, guys? And also over in Anime King, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto absorbed all life from the planet, so go ahead and enjoy that guys. And yeah, without further ado, why don't you guys just sit back, relax, and let's jump into this new episode. Begin now guys. Naruto Uzumaki sat in the testing room as they were currently performing the first phase of the exam. As Naruto instantly realized the true purpose of this test was a cheat. Despite him playing the calm, naive person most of the times. In terms of intellect, his intellect was on par with the Nara's, not just in smart, for strategies, all around being a ninja. Orochimaru had done many things in his life. Things that would make him seem like a mad genius, things that would make him seem like a actual genius, which he was. But there was something that Orochimaru lacked in his research and his discoveries. If he had this thing, he would have been able to become a completely different person by now, being able to surpass the limits that he was currently at the moment. And that was the Kyuubi. The Fox really hated Naruto. For one thing, he didn't have any say in what happened with his chakra. By the age of 12 years old, Naruto was able to create a seal that was able to completely suppress the Fox. And by the age of 14, Naruto was able to completely sterilize the Fox chakra to use it as he see fit. And by the age of 15, he was able to get the Fox to speak to him on different occasions, in a state of trance. He didn't have complete control yet, but he will soon understand the complete inner workings of the Fox. Because the Fox was nothing more than raw chakra, to be bent and wielded to his discretion, as he was in control, not the beast. But the thing was, Naruto came to realize something. All power in this world generated from one single area. Upon interrogating said beast, the beast told him that it was created by Hagoromo. Hagoromo was the sage of Six Paths, as Naruto wanted to learn the history of chakra. The Fox did not know the time before Hagoromo, but he didn't know that he came from something much greater. And that thing was none other than a Jobe. A beast that was said to be able to split the oceans, to drink them dry, rip the earth to pieces. The statement sounded quite crazy, but the sheer magnitude and the power that that beast was said to hold was just incredible. Naruto wanted to become the perfect being, a being that cannot be surpassed in any ways possible. What better way to become said being than become a being with unlimited, relentless stamina, chakra, power, sense of reality, to push it even a step further to become even omnipresent. But that was not anytime soon yet though. For now he was settled on becoming something much greater than he is right now. The Fox ended up seizing up most times as he was able to break out of the control. The Nine Tails was truly a fearsome beast, so Naruto had to suppress him once again so he would not completely shatter the mind trick that he was playing on him with the seals. But he was getting better at controlling his urges, and soon enough he will have him completely subdued, without a Sharingan. He also found out that all bloodline originated from one area. Said bloodline was passed down towards Sage of Six Paths. The fox had no idea who the Sage Mother was, but the Sage did told him that she was a evil woman, as he didn't speak much about her. Naruto came to the conclusion that she was the one that possessed all chakra at first. Given that the Sage was the one that distributed chakra in his mother, well, she was here before him, that meant she must be the one that had all chakra at first. For a being to be able to hold such magnitude and power, she must truly be a goddess. But it seems like she was no longer with them. Perhaps age caught her, or perhaps she went down in a different manner completely. After all, where did the Jubi came from? There were still so many unanswered questions that he will get the answer for, but for now, all chakra, all Keiki Genkai, all bloodlines, they resonate from one single area. And Naruto had something Orochimaru never had, the Nine Tails. At first it was a mistake when he experimented with the Hyuga bloodline. When he had kidnapped that Hyuga from the main house, he was going to take his eyes. But the thing was, if he implanted those eyes in his, that meant he could not change him back to normal. And at that time he wasn't able to really, well, perform a genjutsu that was so strong to fool everyone, especially the Hokage. But it was then that he realized, after questioning the fox, if he was able to use the fox chakra to break down the bloodline to its basics, he could just implant it inside of his own DNA. And that is exactly what he did, using the fox chakra to combine with the DNA of any Keiki Genkai. He could simply break them down back to their original genetics. It was just a matter of making sure that they were awakened before he took them. That is why he needed Sasuke to gain the Sharingan, because at this very moment, as Naruto's eyes became glossy, the pupil in his eyes vanished, and they became pale. He lowered his head towards the decks, as he could see everyone paper from where he was. He was able to awaken the Byakugan without even having to remove his eyes. He was waiting for Sasuke to reach a proper state of control. The Sharingan has another level. From what the fox told him, the Mangekyo Sharingan, if he were to do what he did to Sasuke now, well, he would just gain the normal 3-totem Sharingan, and that would not help him. The power of the Mangekyo was said to be on a completely different scale, and that is what he wanted. He then proceeded to jot down the answers, but that was not the only bloodline that he placed in his own. The other was the Nara, the shadow manipulation, which was a basic trick between yin and yang. But the thing was, with him implemented inside his own system, his control with yin and yang got so much better that wounds that would be danger, threatening to your life, he could regenerate within seconds. With the fox chakra combined, he was basically immortal to a sense. Well, he could be killed, but if he was hit or stabbed and he managed to get away, he wouldn't die. The only way to kill him right now is to cut off his head, or literally rip out his heart out of his chest. But he was working on stopping those from happening, but his skin was already too tough to breach by any normal means. As for the Inazaka, he was able to implant their sense of smell, their reflexes, their canine features. Using the fox chakra, he was able to push it to its absolute limit, because those were features, not a prominent bloodline trait like eyes or abilities. He was able to push it to his prominent abilities, so at the moment you'd hear the heartbeat of the people next to him. He could literally hear their pencils hitting the paper. He could hear a distance off, he could smell anyone from a distance away. The only problem was, sometimes his smell was so great that if the person was covered in some kind of strange material, just like what happened to Anko, it would be hard for him to define between the person and said material, but he was working on that. And the Aburame, the bug user that he captured, he was able to implant their hive inside of his literal DNA. And he had a control over bugs. No other clan, especially Aburame or the Hyugas or the Inazakas, could tell that he had these. With having their bloodlines come with certain quirks, he could repel other members of said clan. He's been working on this since he was A mere child, he was now 15 years old. While it wasn't long, Naruto was dedicated and he would not stop until he achieved what he wanted. The test finally came to a stop. Naruto relaxed as Ibiki told him the real reason. For a moment there seemed like Sakura would give up, but she went against it. She has been getting stronger, she thought to herself, so she wouldn't give up. But that was false. It was just a trick, as Naruto was the one that encouraged her that she was getting stronger and better. But it was just so that she wouldn't do anything stupid. It was then that she came in. "Hello, my little Jenny's uncle," said with a smile. As she saw Naruto. "Ah, Naruto-kun, you're here," she said. "Well, I expected nothing less." As he merely gave her a smile, causing her to grin back. "Alright, you maggots. Meet me at train going 44. Oh, if you're not there by the next 30 minutes, you're disqualified. Those who aren't from Konoha, you better follow the Konoha ninjas. Otherwise, bye-bye." She then flashed away, causing Ibiki to shake his head. With that, they made their way towards the forest, as Naruto's eyes had long since returned back to normal, as he could only imagine what he could do if he was able to completely blend both DNAs together, to fuse the Sharingan and the Byakugan together. And there was another bloodline as well, the Rinnegan, but he doubted that still exists anywhere in the world. It was said to be a myth, but the fox said that it was indeed true. If only he could find the corpse of the Sage of the Sixth Path. As Naruto paused, the idea not really resonating through his head. Till now, the fox might have the whereabouts, but he had to put it into stasis, otherwise it would break out of his control, and he would have to restart the process again. But once he started to question it, he would go after it. And if he could literally find the corpse of Sage of Sixth Path, there was just so much more that he could do. The prospect excited him, so much so that as he arrived, he started to, well, space out, thinking about his plan to come. He heard the kunai being thrown. As he tilted his cheek, the kunai passed him without touching his cheek. As he stabbed in the ground behind him, Uncle flashed behind him. "Just because I was the one that gave you a few pointers doesn't mean you can be cocky," said Uncle, whispering in his ear. "Oh, what do you mean by that?" said Naruto. "Oh, I don't know. I mean you spacing out when I'm giving you the instructions." "Excuse me," Uncle spin around, gripping another kunai. "Oh, I apologize," a grass ninja said. "I didn't mean to alarm you. It's just your kunai cut my hair, and I got a bit excited." "Well, don't do that again. I mean, you could have gotten killed," Uncle said. "Oh, I'm sorry," the grass ninja said, as Naruto looked at her long tongue. This was Orochimaru. There was no mistaking that. Despite him looking like a different person entirely, that jutsu was truly amazing. The look in his eyes, it was him. It was the same feeling that Naruto got when he first came in his lab, his senses telling him that it was him. It was at that very moment he turned his gaze as he saw Kabuto looking over. So he was correct. He was working with him. He smirked to himself, not saying anything else, as Uncle returned back to where she was. "What was all that about?" Sakura asked. "Oh, nothing really. Just a friend of mine," said Naruto. "She's your friend?" Sakura asked, surprised. "Yeah," said Naruto. She said nothing more, as Sasuke remained quiet. The team got a heaven scroll as they made their way inside the Forest of Death. "So where do we go?" Sakura asked. After a good 15 minutes, the group came to a stop. "We should find a team and get their scroll," said Sasuke. "Or we could wait at the entrance of the Forest of Death," said Naruto at the tower, "and ambush a team there." "I'm sure a lot of other teams are doing that," said Sasuke. "If we were to do that now, there would be just a lot of competition there." Sasuke smirked, as he's been looking forward to test out his new Sharingan since his fight with that guy in the spandex suit. What is his name again? Yeah, Rock Lee. "Well, I suppose your plan is good," Sasuke said. "We'll head there," he said, as Naruto nodded. So easily caught. He let his emotions control him too much, Naruto thought to himself. So with that, they moved. It didn't take them too long, as someone interrupted them though. It was not someone, something. It was a gigantic snake. Sasuke flashed to hand sign. Fire style. Fireball Jutsu! But to his surprise, the snake dug right in the ground, avoiding the fireball. It was no ordinary snake. It erupted behind them, as it came down on them like a wild animal, forcing the three of them to jump away. Sasuke landed. Damn, as he pulled a kunai, that thing is tough. Laughter could be heard. Why? Of course it is. Naruto stepped back, just slightly. Sakura narrowed her gaze as she looked around. Who said that? Oh, I did, my dear. Who are you? Said Sakura as she pulled her kunai. Shouldn't that be obvious? A member of the exam. As Sasuke turned towards Sakura, I'll handle this. You guys stay back. As he prepared to jump off until he fell face first. Sakura eyes widened until she fell face first as well. As Naruto walked up, nice disguise, he said. As the woman's smirk increased as she jumped down and started to walk forward. So you do recognize me, she said to him. Of course I do, said Naruto. I can feel your intent. Oh? Is my disguise lacking, she asked. No, it's not that, said Naruto. Since the moment I lay eyes on you when you enter my base, I felt the same feeling when you spoke to Uncle. Let's just say I have a sense for this. A powerful sensor. That just made things more interesting, and you fulfill your end of the bargain. As Orochimaru walked over, Senbon, nice touch. Rather precise as well. It's almost like you could see the nerve endings. I must say, as the time go on, you interest me more and more, Naruto-kun. Come on, you make me blush, said Naruto. Especially, talking to me in the way you are right now. I mean, how would you feel if one of your idols is speaking to you in such a manner? Especially, with a new look. A jutsu to even switch body with someone to become that individual without even using transformation. Again, truly magnificent. Now you're being too flattering, Orochimaru said. As he then reached forward and picked up Sasuke, I don't want to see him move forward in the exam. So you'll have to carry the weight from now on. Oh, there's nothing to worry about, said Naruto. I'll be just fine. As Orochimaru looked at him carefully, he bit Sasuke in the neck. Sasuke squirmed a bit, but he did not wake up. He placed Sasuke down against a tree. You should know, my invasion will be starting sooner than later. But not here. I've made sure that there is no one watching us, but still, not here. There will be a time-month rest. I will make sure of that. Well, my colleague. That the right amount of ninjas arrive to the finals. Your colleague, you mean Kabuto Yakuji? Orochimaru chuckled. Well, you passed my test. Your test, said Naruto. Of course. I made him go out of his way a bit to be a bit, well, you know, open. To see if you'd recognize my colleague, which you did. And once again you impressed me, Naruto-kun. You turned out to be quite a great investment. When the time comes for you to rid this forsaken place and come to join with me, I'm sure we will do wonders together and allow you to get that thrill like you always wanted. It is what I live for, said Naruto. And I'm a little embarrassed to say, but I'm really looking forward to work with you. Well, you shouldn't feel embarrassed, Orochimaru said. I feel honored that my past work was enough to spring you over to my side, get you this wrapped deep, get you to see that life is nothing but an illusion, that we have to break through. You even made the English language sound amazing, said Naruto. They cursed your name and called you the bad one, and yet, as I see it, Jiraiya the Sannin is nothing but a lecherous pervert, and Tsunade has been sulking in your feelings for so long. But you, a man that showed little to no remorse, was able to overcome the past. You too have been through the wars, the chaos, and yet you move on to become something better, but they still sulk in the past. No wonder why you're the strongest, said Naruto. As he walked over and picked up Sakura, Orochimaru simply smirked. Trying to get on my good side, Naruto-kun. Well, when you work for your idols, of course, you want them to know that you think of them as highly as possible, and how much they have changed and inspired your life. Well, I suppose you're right. For now though, I noticed that you were Indulging yourself on poisons. Testing different theories, were you not? You noticed that, yes, said Naruto. Looking for something a bit more stronger, but haven't been able to get my hands on it. Well, seeing that you passed my test. Orochimaru pulled out something out of his robe, as he handed Naruto a box. That is something I've been working on. I got it ready just for you. Be careful with it, Naruto-kun, he said. It's quite dangerous. I'm sure that you can run your own tests to test the capabilities. As Naruto looked at it, my first gift. Naruto bowed his head in respect. I almost don't want to use it. I almost want to put it up as a treasure item. But we both know you wouldn't like something like that. I mean, to push the barriers of knowledge. That is exactly what you want to do. Well, still, I thank you, Lord Orochimaru, said Naruto. My pleasure. Now, watch over the Uchiha. I'll send by a few pawns. I want you to make sure no one else interfere. I want you to see how far the curse mark pushes mentality, to see how brutal he gets. Very well, said Naruto. Oh, about your predicament. You will be questioned by your Hokage, and you don't have a scratch on you. Oh, don't worry, said Naruto. I have just the perfect plan. For the reason I'm the only one conscious. After all, as strong as I might be, I'm still just a pathetic, lonely Genin, said Naruto. Caused Orochimaru to chuckle as Naruto chuckled as well. Well then, I'll be on my way, Naruto-kun. With that, Orochimaru took his leave. Reappearing some 4 distance away, Orochimaru stopped as he thought about the whole situation. The child was being too nice. Perhaps he was just starstruck. But then again, if he wasn't too nice, that meant there were several possibilities. Orochimaru did not quite trust him yet, but so far he has proven to be loyal, giving him the Uchiha without even asking what you want him for. The child could prove to be a good asset for the future, and not to mention, with him already dabbling in the art of experimenting on people, he could be a great partner in the future, someone to work beside him, just like for what he used Kabuto for. His tongue extended as he licked his lips, quite happy with the new turn of event. Time skip. The sound team was waiting as they found the blonde alone. The Uchiha was asleep, so was the pink-haired girl. Their target was the Uchiha. He was the one that they should kill. They waited as he watched as the blonde stepped out. They've been watching for some time now. They were sure that he was all alone, and he could not win against all of them. Why don't we just end this, said Kin. I mean, doesn't look all that tough. Yeah, he most looked like an emo, said Zaku. Fine, let's do this, but do not underestimate him. There's just something about him that's giving me a strange vibes, said Dosu. You always say that, said Zaku. As Kin was the first one to pull out their Senbons with the bells on them. Let me show you how easy this is, she said, as she threw them. The bells landed all around Naruto as they started banging. Naruto gripped his ears as the world became dizzy as he fell face first. Kin burst out laughing. What did I tell you, she said. Really truly pathetic. As Zaku looked towards him. You know, you waste our time with having us watching him, when we could have done that from the start, he said, looking towards Dosu. Dosu was confused. He thought the blonde was on, well, surveillance, that he was ready for anything. Maybe he was mistaken, or this was an act. Wait, said Dosu, as he pulled the kunai and tossed it. The kunai embedded in the blonde's back, stabbing him. It was then that he saw the liquid on the back of his shirt, blood seeping out. If you wanted to kill him, you could have just said that. With that, the members jumped down. Dosu thought that he might have been overthinking things. But there was just something as he jumped down. As Naruto was face first in the ground, he could feel it. He knew how long they were watching him. It took a few hours, but he estimated the time perfectly. Sasuke stepped out of the tree. As he felt dizzy, that is when he saw Naruto, he said. As black markings started to spread on his body, he saw the kunai in Naruto's back. He was dead. It was then that he looked up to see the three. "Did you do this?" he asked. "Yeah, right on time, Uchiha. We killed your little friend there." "He was not that hard to kill. Really pathetic." "I'll end this," said Kin as she threw more bells. Sasuke disappeared. Kin froze when she felt a malicious feeling behind her. Sasuke's mind was raging right now, as the curse mark spread, covering half of his body. Naruto might not have been his best friend, but Naruto was a close comrade, who helped him more than once in several occasions. Not to mention, he wasn't as idiotic and stupid as the others. And with him dead, there was no way they could pass the exam because they needed 3 members. And these people killed him and they ruined it all. He was gonna kill each and every one of them. As his hair started to spike, dark purple chakra emerging from him. The other two jumped back as Skin spin around, but Sasuke grabbed her face. He then proceeded to lift her off the ground in one hand. He then drove her head directly into the pavement. Kin's eyes blacked out instantly, as blood started to seep from her skull. Zaku raised both of his hands. "Decapitated earwave," he said, releasing 2 massive beams of pure pressurized air. The place was decimated. "You fool! Are you trying to kill me as well?" Dosu yelled. "Then get the hell out of the way," Zaku said. "You fancy these arms of yours, don't you?" Zaku's eyes went wide as he heard that. He then felt a pain in his back as Sasuke stomped in it. Sasuke then proceeded to grab both of his arms. Dosu stepped back in fear. That was the curse mark. But that means, why would Orochimaru-sama send them to kill someone in the curse mark? This made no sense. As Dosu started to panic, Zaku screamed, "Do something, Dosu," he yelled. As Dosu was petrified right there, Sasuke looked towards him. "You're next," as he pulled the arms out of his socket. He brought his foot down and stomped it in the back of Zaku's head. Over and over. "Stop," Dosu said. "I'll give you this," as he dropped the scroll. "If you let us leave." Sasuke smirked. Sure, why not? But a smirk on his face proved that he would not, as he raised his hand, but chop! Sasuke fell to the ground, as he collapsed. Naruto stood there. He reached around to his back and pulled out the kunai. Dosu stepped back in fear. "How? I killed you." As Dosu started to back away, Zaku got up with a groan, only for Naruto to slam his skull into the ground, knocking him out clean. As Naruto disappeared, Dosu turned slowly, sweat dropping off his face. Naruto gripped his throat and lifted him off the ground. "You can't kill something like me," he said. "But I will be needing you. Your body intrigues me. Covered in bandits so much, I can fix you, you know. But not in a good way. I'll fix you to my own creation," said Naruto with a small dark chuckle, as he slammed Dosu in the ground head first, rendering him unconscious. A bit of trauma to the brain would not hurt. He then proceeded to go through hand sign. 3 massive canines appear. It's 3 dogs. "You know what to do," said Naruto. They walk over towards one of the corpses as they reach over. As they put them in their mouth, they were still alive. As they picked up Dosu, Kin, and Zaku. After a few seconds they were gone in a reverse summoning. Naruto walked over towards Sasuke as he picked him up, and walked back towards where Sakura was, as he decided to remove the needle. A few minutes later, Sakura! Sakura glanced up, as her eyes opened, but she had to close them right away. "What happened?" she said, as she glanced around. Her eyes widened in shock when she saw Naruto. Blood covered his entire jumpsuit, as she didn't understand what was going on. "Are you okay, Naruto? Whoa!" As Naruto coughed up blood, she tore his shirt instantly. As she looked for her medical kit, she phoned over to the side. I'll do what I can," she said. There was a huge gaping gash on his chest, 2 on his arm. The noise caused Sasuke to wake up. "Where am I?" said Sasuke. "Sasuke-kun, I need your help. Naruto-kun is gonna die," she said. Sasuke looked over. What the hell happened? So he doesn't remember, Naruto thought to himself. Attack! As Naruto passed out, The two of them looked at each other as they saw that he was holding on to a scroll. He got it, said Sasuke. Time skip. As Naruto woke up, he groaned. So you're finally awake. He heard the soft voice of Hiruzen. Where am I? Said Naruto. You're in the tower, medical bay. What's going on? Naruto asks. I'm afraid a lot happened in the Forest of Death, but your team got the scroll that they needed and you were able to come here. In record time, if I must say. Passed out most of the teams, but not number one though. The last thing I remember was those ninjas. They got away. They probably thought I was dead. As Naruto checked his chest and winks in pain. You're not all healed up yet, Naruto-kun. You still have 4 more days to the final of the exams. Naruto-kun, I know that you're a bit groggy right now, but there's something I wish to ask you. Me as well, said the voice. Who is that? It's me, kid. Uncle. As she looked rather serious, what's going on? Your friend, Sasuke Uchiha. He has a curse mark. How did he get that? He doesn't even recall what happened to him. He doesn't? The guy. No, it was a girl. As Naruto shook his head, focusing. Take your time, Hiruzen said. Yeah, the girl, said Naruto. She was so strong. But something was weird. She could control snakes. I knew it, Uncle said. What's going on? Continue, Naruto-kun, said Hiruzen. Oh, alright. There was a guy or girl, I can't really know, but it was a girl at first, but she peeled off her face to show that it was a guy. A strange golden slitted eye. The eye was like a snake, a reptile. She was controlling this giant snake to send to kill us. I managed to dispel it. It was then I found out it was some kind of summoned creature. Kakashi told me that creatures dispel, and they go back to their world of summoning. That's correct, right? Yes. Please continue. Well, whoever this person was, they knocked Sakura out. They then bit Sasuke in the throat. Is he alright? Said Naruto. Yes. He's gonna be fine. I tried to fight, but he laughed at me. She or he. Told me that I was not even worth their time. I was then hit in the stomach. I felt this rage that I've never really felt before. When he hurt Sasuke and Sakura, he looked rather surprised, and I felt so much stronger, but then Naruto lifted up his shirt. Does this have to do with the you know what? Hiruzen saw the seal, as Uncle noticed it. Wait, that looks like... Naruto, stay still for a moment, Hiruzen said. As he slammed his hand on Naruto's stomach, Naruto winks in pain. What was that? It appears your seal was compromised, with a 5-pointed seal. Would have affected your chakra in several different ways. Really? Said Naruto. You noticed, Hiruzen said. Well, I tried to make a clone, but it took so much chakra out of me just to create one, and usually I'm able to create a lot. A clone, Hiruzen said. Well, my new friend there, said Naruto. As Uncle looked towards him. As Hiruzen looked towards the two of them, a long story, Uncle said. It seems that the 5-pointer seal was messing with their chakra control. That is why you weren't able to make a normal clone that easily. Yeah, I guess you're right, said Naruto. You sure everyone is alright? It was quite nasty, said Naruto. As Hiruzen nodded, they will all be fine. What about the other team? Are they here as well? Which team? I'm not sure, but they were wearing a musical head note. The team from the sound. I'm afraid they have not made it yet. But you just rest, Naruto. Don't push yourself too hard, you've been through a lot. Alright, said Naruto. As he leaned back, I'll be back to check on you later, Hiruzen said, to make sure everything's okay. As Naruto nodded. See ya, kid, Uncle said. Yeah, see ya, said Naruto. As they left. As Naruto's eyes returned back to dull. Not showing pain or anything. It worked perfectly as he thought. He knew that Uncle hatred for Orochimaru would soon put her on the trail, so he had to make sure that everything went smoothly. The 5-pointer seal was a nice touch as well, as he smirked to himself. Now all he had to do was get back to work. As he prepared himself to create a quick substitute out of here. leaving someone behind to play the injured Naruto. Time skip. A few days later. It worked out well enough. No one suspected a thing. Sakura came by to check on him, worried for his health. Sasuke came by, but he was a bit more formal than Sakura. He did not like to show emotions that much. And it was a good thing that he had no idea what happened. The curse mark screwed with his head for the first time. That was good. But still, it wouldn't have been bad because he never knew that Naruto did a thing. So things went more or less perfect. At the moment though, Naruto was annoyed. A preliminary test. This was a huge waste of time. He had to say Sakura was truly pathetic. It didn't dote on him how truly pathetic she was. She fought off against Ino, and Ino was just even worse. She was a clan heir. Frank thinks Sakura didn't have much training, seeing that she didn't have a clan. She was from a civilian background. Her parents was once ninjas, but they retired early. Ino on the other hand, she was a clan heir. Yet Sakura kept up with her. Yet Sakura go toe-to-toe with her, and the both of them knocked each other out. That was just ridiculous. Kabuto gave up before he could pass, probably just stoking out the opponents. The match was really boring, much to say. Sasuke won against a guy against Kabuto's team. He was supposed to face off against Kiba. He had to play it short. Pretend like he didn't have much power to defeat Kiba that easily, allowing him to get a few punch in. He knew that this was breaking his code of never losing, but he didn't lose. He still won, but he didn't win easily. In the end, he pulled off the win, but Kiba still got a few punch in, making people say that match was close, but good, said we. Some of them saying that Naruto got lucky. Gar on the other hand was an absolute monster. He chose to decimate Rock Lee. The only reason why Lee was alive was because of his sensei. Yes, that was the only reason, otherwise he would have been dead. As the finals were set, Naruto did not really care much for his opponent. He would be facing Neji. Sasuke would be facing Gaara. That was all that he took Frank to notice. The rest of them were just waste of space, unimportant, and they didn't make much sense. They had 1 month to train, 1 month to practice and get better. As usual, Kakashi's interest within Sasuke because of his past allowed him to tell Naruto that he will be taking Sasuke and assign a new teacher for him. But Naruto didn't want any new teacher, but if he didn't take it, it would look quite weird. I mean, who wouldn't take a chance to get trained by a sensei? Ebisu Sensei, that strange man that went around in Konohamaru, calling him the respectful grandson. That strange annoying clown. As Naruto wondered if he should just kill him and get it over with, he shook his head. Why was he thinking that? Oh yeah, one of his experiments didn't go through that well, and he was a bit angry. And when he was angry, he tended to think dark things and also did dark things. So he had to keep himself, well, calm at the moment. But Naruto refused to go to this man at all, so he went out of his way just to avoid him at all costs. The man soon reported to Hokage that he was not where he was supposed to be, but Hiruzen had other ideas. Well, not Hiruzen per se, but Jiraiya of the Sannin. As Naruto found himself at the hot tub, the bathhouses, seeing that he once again went around the man's wishes, he decided to get a good soak in to calm his nerves. When he saw a guy peeping, Naruto instantly recognized the person, as he kept himself calm. "Hey, what are you doing?" he asked. "Shush it, kid," the man said, waving Naruto off. "You're gonna get me noticed." "Are you peeping?" said Naruto. "You know that's not a good thing, right?" "Hey kid, shush it," he said. "You're gonna get me caught." As Naruto shook his head, Jiraiya narrowed his gaze, as he wanted there to be an interaction between him and Naruto, so that he could get to know him. Naruto formed his hands together. "Shadow Clone Jutsu," he said, as a clone was created. Said clone jumped up in a tree. "Hey, why you peeping on the girls?" the clone yelled. Jiraiya turned, but the clone pushed him, as he fell backwards. He then received a beating of his life. When he came out crawling, Naruto was there laughing. "You brat, what was that for?" "Well, you were brushing me off. I kind of got angry. And not to mention, it was quite fun," said Naruto. "You find joy in my pain?" "Of course I do," said Naruto. "Who are you anyway?" Look at you, you're an old man. It's quite perverted to be peeping on young ladies. Hey kid, I'm not that old. Look at me. I'm in the springtime of my life, said Jiraiya. Do you even know who I am? I bet if you know, you wouldn't be treating me this way. Who are you? Well then, Jiraiya stepped back. I am, as he made a pose. As he went into a critical state, getting all serious. I am the guy that have ladies screaming my name. I am the guy that have guys jealous. Having them on their knees wishing they could be like me. Having ninjas that are said to be the most strongest, hoping they could ever reach my status. I am the one that have people begging me to come to their parties, their celebrations, because my name is so infamous, worldwide, amazing. Just a mere glance at me would mean the world to anyone. I am the great Toad Sannin. I am Jiraiya of the Sannin, Sage of Mount Miyaboku, he yelled. As Naruto started to walk away, Brat, said Jiraiya, don't go and disrespect the sage's name like that. I wasn't, it was just, well, that was so lame, so I decided to just walk away. I mean, what would be the point of telling you that it was lame? Seems like you already know that. My introduction is not lame, Brat, said Jiraiya. Who are you anyway? The name is Naruto Uzumaki. Look, sorry for getting you beat up. it was just a bit funny. Pervy Sage. What was that? It fits you, doesn't it? Pervy Sage, said Naruto. A neat nickname. Don't call me that, said Jiraiya. What are you doing here anyways? Well, I was looking for my sensei, but I can't seem to find him. Your sensei? Yeah, the Chunin exams are coming up in a month. And I can't find my sensei to train me. Why? Well, I have a real sensei actually. His name is Kakashi Hatake. But he decided to train Sasuke instead. Seeing that it's more important for him to focus on his training, he's going up against a real dangerous guy. Naruto saw Jiraiya's eyes narrowed. And what about you? Well, he told me to go and train with this guy known as Ebisu. But I guess he's not here. Huh. Well, too bad for you, said Jiraiya. I guess you're gonna lose. Well, I'll just train myself. It wouldn't be the first time, said Naruto. Not like I have anyone in the first place, so it wouldn't be new. Jiraiya felt a rush of guilt spread through his heart at hearing that. Hey, how about I train you? Huh? Really? Wait, why? Don't you hate me? Why would I hate you? Well, I did laugh at you getting beaten up, and I was the one that pushed you. Well, it's all fun and games, said Jiraiya. Besides, I've been through that more than once. That still doesn't explain why would you train me, said Naruto. Well, let me tell you a secret. I kind of see myself in you. You just met me. Well, I was like you when I was younger. I was also an orphan as well. Didn't really have anyone to train me. Also, the dead last of my class. Wait, how do you... Kid, I'm a Sannin. I know a lot more than you think. I also know what you have inside of you. You know about the... Of course I do, said Jiraiya. So you know I'm a dead last. I'm not that strong. I don't have anything special. And yet you still want to help me. Why? Like I said, I see myself in you. I mean, look at me now, said Jiraiya. I'm a Sannin. And back then I was even probably worse than you. Couldn't even throw a shuriken to save my life. As Naruto chuckled a bit. Yeah, quite amusing, said Jiraiya. But look at me now. I have girls flocking from left to right to see me. You mean when they're not beating the crap out of you, said Naruto. Jiraiya's eye twitched. Just kidding, Pervy Sage. I told you to stop calling me that. As Naruto chuckled a bit. Sorry, it's just, I don't really interact that much with people. So, well, this is just new for me. What do you mean, said Jiraiya? Well, as I said before. Well, you probably know as well. You know what I possess, so it's rather hard to make friends. The only friends I have is my teammates. Sakura is off doing I don't really know, and Kakashi and Sasuke is training. So yeah, don't really have anyone else. Jiraiya felt his heart beating fast than usual. The guilt, the pain, the regret, as he looked at the kid who was looking at the ground. So it's not that I wish to treat you badly, it's just don't really know how to interact with people that much. Yeah, it's a bit embarrassing to say, although I'm 15 years old now, I should know these things. Common sense and all. So, yeah, sorry about that. It's alright, kid, said Jiraiya. So, about that training, he said. You want it? Of course, said Naruto. As much as you are a pervert, you are a Sannin. One of the village's strongest ninjas, if not the strongest. As Jiraiya smirked. Well, you got that right, he said. How about I start you with something basic, said Jiraiya. Well, for one thing, control your chakra a lot better, after all. We both know that you have large reserves. So it's gonna be hard for you to perform certain techniques. What do you mean? I just have bad chakra control. No, said Jiraiya. Your chakra reserve is too large. Didn't Kakashi tell you this? Tell me what, said Naruto. Kid, did Kakashi teach you anything? Well, he did teach me the tree climbing exercise. And I guess nothing else. How long have you been at Genin? About 6 months now, why? And he's teach you only tree climbing exercise? You're kidding, right? No, of course not. And he's off teaching Uchiha. Yeah, Naruto noticed Jiraiya's fist clench. As he continued to play the mind game, it was truly fun. Jiraiya took a deep breath. Alright, I'll take over as your sensei from now on. And maybe a lot longer, he said. What was that? Oh, nothing, never mind, he said. Alright, let's start with your chakra control. The month is not that long, so let's see how much we can get in. Alright? Yeah, sure, said Naruto. Time skip. Tree walking? Tree walking? As Hiruzen was also frowning. He didn't know that Kakashi was neglecting his training that much. He did tell Kakashi that Naruto needed enough extra help, and yet, what did he teach him? It is a miracle that Naruto passed through the exams. I will have a strong talk with Kakashi once he gets back. This is unacceptable. It seems like he's paying favorites, said Jiraiya. You think he is? Look at it. He's gone with the Uchiha to go and train him personally. What about Naruto? Handing him off to Ebisu. Ebisu? Really? He doesn't even like the kid. And Kakashi should know that. Jiraiya, calm down. You know how you get when you get in these states. You're not one that usually get angry. Jiraiya took a deep breath. Look, I have all reason to be angry. Not to mention I'm at fault here as well. I mean, I wasn't there for him. In a way, I have no right to say any of this, but still. He's their sensei, he's supposed to help them get better. Not to mention the kid is lacking basic social skills. It's not that he doesn't have them, it's just that... well, it's hard for him to speak to people normally. I didn't know that it was this bad. I told you that Naruto-kun is different from most. The moment you step foot in this village. Yeah, I know, but... I didn't know that it was this bad. And it's all my fault. What would they think of me if they were to see me now? As Jiraiya glanced up towards the wall. I've been nothing but a disappointment. You're being too harsh on yourself. The world is unpredictable and unfair. After all, it took 2 lovely people away on the night of his birth, robbing him of a normal childhood. Sensei, does something about him remind you of someone? Huh? Minato? No. It kind of reminds me a bit of Orochimaru. You see it too. Wait, you do? As well? Said Jiraiya, surprised. For a moment back in the days, I used to see this look in his eyes. I first thought it was hatred and cold and indifference, but I realized it was just, well, loneliness and pain. Maybe that is what he felt as well back then. As the both of them thought about Orochimaru. But that time had long passed. As Jiraiya shook his head, well, I'll be taking over the kid training. His chakra control is really bad. Are you gonna teach him some new technique? Making him a toad summoner like yourself? Not this month, maybe next month or some other time. As I said, his chakra control is really bad. We're gonna be working on that first. But the kid have to have a little juice in his arsenal. I mean, the only thing he has going for him is Shadow Clone Jutsu. And that won't bring him too far. He's facing the prodigy of the Hyuga clan. It's gonna be difficult for him to win. Yeah, I know what you mean, said Sarutobi. As they were both unaware of the small, tiny bug in the corner, as he slowly left the office. The bug returned back to Naruto, as he chuckled. Everything was going so perfectly. So Jiraiya knew everything as well. Well, he suspected a long time ago. Of course Naruto knew who his parents were. He wasn't stupid. A little blood test and it was rather easy, not to mention there was only 2 Uzumakis that ever resided in his village before him, and that was Mito and Kushina. And it was too hard to link her back to Minato, so yeah, he wasn't stupid. But it was good that they didn't suspect a thing. Things were going perfectly, he thought to himself. But guys, be subscribe right here. If you want some next part to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell in case I stay posted. But I'm off now, see you guys soon, peace.